Get ready for a heartwarming adventure. In today's video, we're sharing incredible stories of humans helping animals in need and receiving the sweetest thank you in return. From daring rescues to simple acts of kindness, these animals found adorable ways to show their gratitude. Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. If you've ever wondered how a wild creature can say thank you, this is the video for you. Sit back and prepare to be amazed by some of the most touching moments between humans and their animal friends. So, here are some real-life stories of when humans helped animals and got thanked in the cutest way. Number 1. Octopus thanks the people who saved his life. In some cultures, octopus is a much sought-after delicacy, but octopuses are also some of the smartest creatures in the world, and we still have a lot to discover about this incredible animal. This little one wasn't having a very good time, though. For some reason, it had become stranded on the sand at high tide on a very hot day. And you know, octopuses and sunshine aren't the best of friends. This tiny octopus was tragically drying up on the beach, getting more and more dehydrated, and unable to get back into the water. In other words, the little fellow was going to die unless someone came to its rescue. Of course, that's exactly what happened. Hey Yan Hang was walking along Cyrene Beach in Portugal when he saw the beached baby octopus. Hang understood the gravity of the situation and was eager to help. He grabbed a cup of water, scooped up the little cephalopod, and put it back in shallow waters. After a few minutes of recuperation, it even slightly changed color a few times. As a thank you, it stretched two of its little tentacles across Hang's boot before swimming out to sea. Now, if that isn't adorable, I don't know what is. Number 2. Raccoon family visits their favorite human every day. Brittany Seidel is a proud mom of 4. Granted, they're a little furrier than human babies, but just as cute. It all started in April 2021, when Brittany bought a new house. The previous owners were known for caring for wildlife in the area. One day, as she was making breakfast, she heard something on her back porch. She turned around, and there it was, a wild raccoon literally knocking on her door. It was a female raccoon, and she was missing an eye. She clearly wasn't doing very well. Seidel started feeding her grapes and slices of bread every day, and eventually, Roxy, as she named her, warmed up to her presence. In fact, Roxy couldn't find food by herself due to her bad eyesight, so without Seidel, she wouldn't have made it through the winter. Seidel knew to be cautious around wild raccoons, but Roxy was so sweet she couldn't turn her back on her. One day in early May, Seidel noticed that Roxy looked like she had been nursing, and a few days later, Roxy showed up on the back porch at her usual time. But this time, she had 4 babies in tow. The babies are super cuddly with Seidel now because they've known her from such a very young age. If you want to get your daily dose of cuteness, you can follow Roxy and her babies on TikTok. Number 3. Cute seal thanks rescuer. Antoine, Nod, and Katia from Ocean Conservation Namibia were told about a baby seal that had some plastic stuck around its neck. Now, this is very dangerous. It won't kill the animal instantly, no, it's much worse than that. The pup will keep growing and growing, but the plastic won't budge. So basically, the plastic will very slowly cut into the pup's neck until it'll cut through enough flesh that the seal will die. Yeah, sounds horrific, right? That's because it is, and you'd be surprised at how many poor animals die this way, with plastic around their necks. Such a shame, but it wasn't the end for this lucky pup. No, Antoine, Nod, and Katia were there to save it, but first, they'd have to catch it, and that's easier said than done. Once they managed to spot the baby and grab it by its tail, in no time, they managed to cut the piece of plastic. But then, instead of attacking its rescuers or fleeing in terror, the seal decided to sit with them for a little while. It let itself be petted, as if it was saying, "I understand why you were chasing me. Now, thank you." And then it happily hopped away to join its friends. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Little girl and her rescued fox are best friends. Phoenix is a very special little girl. She lives in Australia with her family, who run a farm with lots of different animals. When she grows up, Phoenix wants to run the farm and hopes to have a lot more animals to care for. But out of all the creatures on her farm, Fergie is her absolute favorite. In fact, the pair are like siblings. Fergie is a fox, a species that's sadly considered vermin in her country. Fergie was found orphaned as a cub back in 2015. The family decided to take her in because they feared she wouldn't make it on her own in the wild. Fergie can be a little nervous around adults, but with Phoenix, it's a different story. They play, cuddle, and hang out together. They basically grew up together. Every morning, the little girl feeds her furry sister, and Fergie makes these little happy chirping sounds to welcome her. She only does that for Phoenix. They have such a special bond, and it's a pleasure to see. Foxes need a lot of stimulation. They are wild animals and should not be kept as pets. But because Fergie couldn't be released, the family has been very lucky to have this experience. They can't imagine life without Fergie. Number 5. Condor affectionately hugs man who helped save his life. Condors have such a bad rep, and honestly, it's not warranted. Sure, yeah, they eat dead animals, but without them, the carcasses would just pile up. Imagine that. Isn't it neat that an animal feeds on them, thus completing the food chain? They're kind of like the waste collectors of nature. You know, someone's got to do that job. Edgardo, the owner of a ranch in Neuquén, Argentina, has a close relationship with Condorito, a condor he found wounded when it was still a chick. Over time, the bird stayed with him, becoming kind of like a pet. It all started one day in March, when Condorito showed up at his ranch with a wound on one of its legs. Edgardo and his family treated the injury, and since that day, Condorito approaches him every time he calls and demands cuddles. Edgardo tries to leave food out for him so that he learns to scavenge on his own. When animals around the ranch die for whatever reason, Edgardo leaves the carcasses out for his condor buddy. However, the bird, which is estimated to be about 8 months old, lost contact with its parents, so it's likely that it will never become a completely wild condor. Number 6. Moment wild gorillas accept Damian Aspen. Damian Aspinall is a multi-millionaire who has dedicated his life to saving animals. The dream, right? Irma is a 20-stone massive gorilla that Damian helped raise. Now aged 16, Irma has been living in the Gabon jungle as a wild gorilla for years. Damian decided it was time for a reunion with his old friend, so he brought along his new young wife, Victoria, for the special occasion. Now, Irma knew Damian, so he probably wouldn't be aggressive toward him, although that wasn't guaranteed after for long years. But would Irma accept Victoria? She had never had contact with gorillas before, so she was a ball of nerves. Damian slowly approached his furry friend, making a deep gurgle to communicate his friendly intentions. Once Irma reciprocated with another deep gurgle, he told Victoria to come and meet the animal. In no time, the three were acting like a real family. She even curled up in Irma's lap. Animals are so special. Having a close bond with a wild animal is one of the most incredible things a person can experience. They are full of love and are so grateful when we help them. Have you ever had the chance to help an animal? How did it go? So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this timestamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.